Welcome to Lighthouse Kinship's devotional video, Sensory Hearing, Proverbs chapter 4, verses 20 to 23, TPT. Listen carefully, my dear child, to everything that I teach you, and pay attention to all that I have to say. Fill your thoughts with my words until they penetrate deep into your spirit.
Then, as you unwrap my words, they will impart true life and radiant health into the very core of your being. So above all, guard the affections of your heart, for they affect all that you are. Pay attention to the welfare of your innermost being, for from there flows the wellspring of life. Saturday, September 16, 2023, Monica and I were at St. Croix River, Interstate State Park, Taylor's Falls, Minnesota.
Vocabulary.com definition of hearing: able to perceive sound. The middle of February, Bobby and I were walking from our campsite to the lake at Natchez State Park, Natchez, Mississippi. And as we were walking and talking, all of a sudden, the realization came clear with a snap, creak, pop, cracking, and then a bam. A branch had broken off a tree and came crashing to the ground. We were certainly perceiving sound, and we were extremely grateful that this time we were walking down the road and not on the trail in the woods near this branch. 1 Samuel chapter 3, young Samuel gives us strong insight into the realization to perceiving sound.
1 Samuel 3, verses 1 to 5 NIV. The boy Samuel ministered before the Lord under Eli. In those days the word of the Lord was rare. There were not many visions. One night Eli, whose eyes were becoming so weak that he could barely see, was lying down in his usual place. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying down in the house of the Lord, where the ark of God was. Then the Lord called Samuel. Samuel answered, "Here I am." And he ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." But Eli said, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." So he went and lay down.
When Bobby and I heard the snapping, creaking, cracking, and popping, we did more than just perceiving sound. We were listening. Merriam-Webster's definition of listening: to hear something with thoughtful attention. Young Samuel had more than a realization of sound. He was receptive. He listened.
1 Samuel 3, verses 6 and 7 NIV. Again the Lord called, "Samuel." And Samuel got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." "My son," Eli said, "I did not call. Go back and lie down." Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord. The word of the Lord had not yet been revealed to him.
Samuel knew about God because he was ministering under Eli the priest, but he did not have a personal relationship with the Lord of heaven and earth. Do you know about God of heaven and earth? The first step of knowing about God is realization. God is the creator. We human beings did not create this world, anything in this world, nor did we create ourselves. Having a clear understanding of the creator moves us into being receptive to not only hearing God's divine voice to us personally, but listening to God's divine voice to us personally.
1 Samuel 3, verses 8 to 10 NIV. A third time the Lord called, "Samuel." And Samuel got up and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, you called me." Then Eli realized that the Lord was calling the boy. So Eli told Samuel, "Go and lie down. And if he calls you, say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.'" So Samuel went and lay down in his place. The Lord came and stood there, calling at the other times, "Samuel, Samuel." Then Samuel said, "Speak, for your servant is listening."
Just as Samuel moved from hearing to listening through the process of realization of God's voice to being receptive to God's voice, and then quickly being responsive to God's voice, we too should follow Samuel's example. During the 35 years Bobby, our sons, and even our oldest grandson and myself lived in our home, we talked about selling and moving, but we only talked about it. Until time came for Bobby to lay down 40 plus years of a low voltage technician and replace those low voltage licenses with a passion God placed within Bobby in high school, photography. February 2020, the call literally came to sell our home of 35 years. During the most uncertain, fearful, amazing time in our lives, as well as our country's, God's divine grace sold our house in the midst of a pandemic. Have you done as Samuel by setting your heart on the process of realization, receptive and responsive each and every day to hear God's voice?
1 Samuel 3, verses 11 and 15 to 19 NIV. And the Lord said to Samuel, See, I am about to do something in Israel that will make the ears of everyone who hears about it tingle. Samuel lay down until morning and then opened the doors of the house of the Lord. He was afraid to tell Eli the vision. But Eli called him and said, Samuel, my son. Samuel answered, Here I am. What was it he said to you? Eli asked. Do not hide it from me. May God deal with you, be it ever so severely, if you hide from me anything he told you. So Samuel told him everything, hiding nothing from him. Then Eli said, He is the Lord. Let him do what is good in his eyes. The Lord was with Samuel as he grew up, and he let none of Samuel's words fall to the ground.
This concludes our devotional video of Lighthouse Kinship, Sensory Hearing, Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 and 25, the voice. Those people who are listening to me, those people who hear what I say and live accordingly to my teachings, you are like a wise man who built his house on a rock, on a firm foundation. When storms hit, rain pounded down, and waters rose, levees broke, and winds beat all the walls of that house, but the house did not fall because it was built upon rock.
Monica and I thank you for traveling along with us here for the Eagle Tour on the Cal Fremling Tour Boat along the Mississippi River for the National Eagle Center, Winona, Minnesota. Lighthouses. Jesus Christ is the light of the world. Kinship, comfort, enlightening the eyes of your heart. Photography, traveling. What do all these have in common? Monica and I excitedly invite all to journey with us not only through YouTube, but by personal appearance as we share the challenges, blessings, and adversities through the lens of the camera and God's divine word. Please contact us by email for Monica and I to share our experiences in person. Our email address is LightHouseKinShipLLC@gmail.com.